Hey everybody, and big message I want to tell you folks before I get started is this. My subscribers went up to 100. Yeah, I know I told you people I went up to 101, but the last time I checked it went down to just 100. But anyway, I don't know why it just went down to 100, but still it's 100. So, one thing I want to say for those of you who subscribe my channel, reaching up to 100, I want to say thanks for all of you for subscribing my show and liking my show and watching my show with great interest because I had a lot of work, a lot of hard work making my channel to be as great and successful as it is. And another thing, I also discovered that if you remembered my Starship Trooper review, I, said that the YouTube were planning to delete everybody's, shows because they're not making any money. Well, it's also got something to do with with, this, thing called Kappa or something. I, settled it with, saying that every one of my show will be for kids only. I mean, it's made for kids. Now, I would cuss and slip out a bit, but hey, bloopers are bloopers, right? Anyway, and I know some of you are thinking, even though I'm going to review a video game, why am I wearing this shirt and not a Insane Gamer shirt? Well, it turns out I lost it. I lost my damn Game and Shane shirt. So now I'm stuck with this BB77 shirt. But it does keep me warm. So anyway, folks, thank you for listening, and enjoy my review of Spyro the Dragon. Hey, Master Chief.
What is it, Laura?
Are you still pawning over Cortana?
Yeah. Ever since my last game, it turned out that Cortana, well, she went haywire and went malfunction, and all of a sudden she just went all just haywire. I still love her, nonetheless, but I still hoping that one of these days she must have a really good reason.
I'm sure things will get better soon.
Easy for you. You live your entire life as a bachelorette, explorer, and archaeologist. Even though you're rich, you still want to explore for treasure.
Hey, sometimes when you're a billionaire, it gets pretty boring, so therefore I decided to explore and find things that nobody cannot find. Hey, a Master Chief!
Yes, Mario?
Hey there, Master Chief. Yes, Master Chief, are you still pondering over Cortana?
Not as any of your concern, but yeah, I am.
Now, you need to learn that sooner or later you will get over it. I mean, instead of just pondering over some sort of a hologram, you should go with a real girl. Yeah, I think that's a good idea, Mario. I think you should be with a real girl.
Easy for you to say. You have a princess who always get kidnapped so many times, and you, Sonic, you never have a love interest in the video game until they made that Saturday morning cartoon of you where they had that Princess Sally girl, and now in the later games there is a female hedgehog who is so obsessed over you that you just want her to leave you alone.
I know it is not any of my concern, but I just saying that it would be a lot better. I mean, a lot better to be with a real girl than being with a hologram. Yeah, and yeah, you're right. Rose always seems to have a huge thing for me. And of course, I really do miss that Princess Sally girl. She was something.
And also another thing, I think you should, I think that princess of yours do need some help.
What are you trying to say?
What I'm trying to say is that Princess Peach always gets kidnapped so many times. Does the word, Stockholm mean anything to you? I mean, if you really love her, you should put a GPS on her. Oh yeah, that's right. On Mario Odyssey, she jilted you, and now there is this whole fan art about Bowser wearing a hat and now turned into a sexy woman.
Yeah, what's up with that? I mean, that's not normal. Mario, is that true? Did Princess Peach ditch you and all of a sudden Bowser becomes Bowsette? I have no idea what you're talking about. I mean, I don't know this Bowsette.
Oh, come on. There's a lot of fan art and everything about it. I mean, you can even look it up on the internet. There's so many fan arts, there's a lot of artwork, and heck, I'm also hearing about a couple of porn parodies.
Ew, that is so gross.
Tell me about it. And of course, Sonic, in the other hand, I also heard when your video game was made, they decided to let you have a human girlfriend named Madonna, based out of that famous pop star.
Is that true?
Yeah. But they gave you Sally in the Saturday morning cartoons. And what's with the big deal on Sonic 05, 2005 Sonic video game? We're hinting that you're supposed to have some sort of a romantic relationship with this bland princess named Elise.
Sonic, is that true? That you decided to fall in love with the princess and save her just like what I did in my story? Yeah, it's true. But but they made sure that game was very silent. For the moment, I thought you were gonna be in the next line with Howard the Duck. Howard the Duck? You know, that movie they made, it was a total flop, and it was very awkward when that human girl found him attractive and they were about ready to kiss until they get interrupted. Oh yeah, I remember that. Don't get me started on that. Now, wait a minute, guys, wait a minute. I also discovered something.
What? What is it?
Do you know what today is?
Why, it's December 6th. What are you getting at?
I just remembered something. Multi-Voice Reviewer did review a video game character.
Oh yeah, that's right. Sonic the Hedgehog.
So I think it's time for Multi-Voice Reviewer to review Spyro the Dragon.
Oh yeah, I almost forgot about Spyro. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. Spyro the Dragon. Yeah, I think it's time. Laura Kraft, I think it's time for you to give that multi-voice reviewer a call and review Spyro the Dragon.
Yeah, give that multi-voice reviewer a call. Oh, and see if he can find a way to review my games for once.
Okay. Oh, do you want me to call multi-voice reviewer? Let him know that if he wants to review your games, Mario. Nah, not this time. There's so many games of me. It'll be kind of. It might take all day for him to do a lot of research. But call multi-voice reviewer and let him know about the Spyro the Dragon video game. I'm sure there's a lot of fans out there. Right on it. Had to call me to do this, even though I lost my Game Insane shirt. Hey everybody. Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. This is Multi-Voice Reviewer. I have many voices, but one opinion. And today, this is my video game review for the day. Oh, and happy December, ladies and gentlemen. That means I'm going to be reviewing a couple of Christmas stuff, and I do have a couple of Christmas specials I would love to review and talk to you guys about. But right now, it's getting really cold in here. You know what I always do? You know what I always do when it gets really cold outside? And it gets really... You know what I always do? Eat a bag of Red Hots. I mean, I just love cinnamon. I mean, I can just eat a ton of these things. Mmm. Spicy. Does help keep me warm. But the thing about this stuff is, it's so hot, it makes me want to breathe fire. If possible. I mean, it makes me feel like I'm breathing fire here every time I eat this stuff. But what can I say? I like eating cinnamon. And I don't mean the powder stuff. I'm not going to take that spoonful of cinnamon challenge crap. I've seen a lot of people who died trying that. I think it's stupid. But one challenge I would like to take, though, I heard that there is this really spicy, cinnamon hot sucker called Satan's Toe. All you gotta do is have that sucker in your mouth and try to last a little long before you can take the heat. I love fireballs. And I love Red Hots. So, if I can take Red Hots and fireballs, I think I can take Satan's Toe. Oh, it's making me really hot. I feel like Dulcine from Street Fighter. You got fire! You got flame! Anyway, enough about my love about cinnamon, folks. Let's talk about a certain video game. I haven't played it. I mean, I did play the first game, but I couldn't catch up with the others and play them. And yes, I remember. Back in December 6th, last year, I reviewed Crash Bandicoot. So now for this December 6th, I decided to review none other than Spyro the Dragon. What can you say about this fire-breathing video game character? What can you say about him? Spyro the Dragon was... I mean, it's not often that you play a video game as a dragon and go through your adventures in it. But I remember back... in 1998, where the first Spyro game first started. Now, the game was pretty fun. In this game, you play young little dragon named Spyro, and you're living in a world full of dragons. And they have this bad guy who goes by the name of Nasty Nork. Now, oh yeah, this Spyro the Dragon was a request from one of my friends from Britain named Thomas. So this Spyro video game was a request by one of my friends. So, alright. Anyway, Nasty Nork, he hated what the dragons called him, saying that he's ugly, nasty, and horrible. So he did a spell where he starts turning all the dragons in that world into gem-like statues. And throughout the video game, all Spyro has to do is trying to free all the dragons from their prison. So, what Spyro did? Go through his adventures, set sheeps on fire. That's why on every Spyro commercial, there's always this half-burnt sheep who wants to protest against Spyro. And he has this dragonfly named Sparks who helps him out throughout the game. And all he has to do is just free all the dragons and battle against Nasty Nork. And then, after that challenge has been done, everybody lives happily ever after. And that is Spyro the Dragon for you. But not for long, because in 1999, they made Spyro 2. Riptor's Rage. Riptor's Rage. Although in UK they call it Getaway to Glimmer. Getaway to Glimmer. I mean, why do they call it that? I mean, that's just silly. Anyway, this one, Spyro went into a portal to another world, and he met a mole-like professor. In his world, it's overrun by this evil sorcerer who goes by the name of Riptor. And Riptor hates dragons, so he's trying to kill Spyro, but Spyro has help from a fawn who goes by the name of Laura, which throughout the game it turns out that this Laura character seems to like him. And of course there is this cheetah coward who goes by the name of Hunter who helps him out. And there's also this this other character who calls himself Moneybag. He will give him the item he wants, but depends on how many gems you collect. So, all in all, it's pretty interesting. Instead of defeating Nasty Nork, you're defeating against an evil sorcerer who goes by the name of Riptor. And then when the mission is over, you go back to the Dragon Shore, which is supposed to be a sunny beach area for dragons. So Spyro can have his vacation that he wants. And then in the year 2000, Y2K, PlayStation decided to make a third and final game, which is Spyro, the Year of the Dragon. In this one, you're with Hunter, and Laura's there. We also meet other characters. You meet this agent who's a monkey, this penguin who wears an army helmet, a kangaroo who's an explorer, and of course this big yeti with a club who likes to bash people in the head. And also you find this mysterious rabbit who is actually a sorceress she started out working with the villain until it turns out that this villain, who is actually an evil sorceress queen, she wants to have the dragon's power so she can be immortal. Can you believe that? But the rabbit, named Bianca, she discovered the error of her ways and decided to help our heroes. Even Hunter likes Bianca. Spyro, being a young dragon, he doesn't get romance. He doesn't get love. Although I do have a feeling that Laura, the fawn, does seem to like Spyro, but Spyro doesn't know about it. And then in 2001, now, just like I thought about Crash Bandicoot, I thought Spyro was going to be an icon for PlayStation, like Crash Bandicoot and Lara Croft, but I was wrong. Because in 2001, they made this game for Game Boy Advance, called Spyro, Season of Ice. In the game, there is this two-headed character who wanted to freeze the entire world so he can obtain the fairy's power. But it's up to Spyro to melt the ice and bring everything back to normal. And then they made a sequel called Spyro 2, Season of Flame, where Riptor shows up. And he's starting to create havoc, once again. And then when PlayStation 2 came out, they made a brand new Spyro game in 2002 called Spyro Enter the Dragonfly. I'm a huge Bruce Lee fan. That's why. Enter the Dragonfly just reminds me of my favorite movie, Enter the Dragon, with the legendary Bruce Lee. Oh, feel a fire coming. That was hot. Anyway. Game Boy Advance decided to make a third Spyro game, and it's called Spyro Attack of Red Knock in 2003. Now, I heard some people say it's an okay game. And also, this game, and so is the Season of Flame, are supposed to be an RPG game. So it's a role-playing Spyro game. Then all of a sudden, Spyro, since the video game company wanted to combine Spyro with Crash Bandicoot, my favorite PlayStation character, they decided to make this game here, but sadly for Game Boy Advance, called Crash Bandicoot Purple and Spyro Orange. Crash Bandicoot Purple and Spyro Orange, it's supposed to be about what happened when Crash meets Spyro, and all of a sudden they start sharing each other's world. So in the game, you're in Crash Bandicoot's world playing Spyro, while in the other game, you're in Spyro's world playing Crash Bandicoot. Oh, and one more thing I also started to notice that I kind of missed in my Crash Bandicoot review. I also heard that the creators kind of hinting, saying that that Crash Bandicoot, his personality. Some people are saying that Crash Bandicoot is supposed to be autistic, because even though he doesn't talk, he is pretty smart on other things. He doesn't know anything about computers like his sister does, Coco, but he's smart enough to know other things and knows how to defeat Cortex. Not a bad idea, if you ask me. Then on PlayStation 4, I mean not 4, but on PlayStation 2, they added again. But also, you can also play it on Xbox as well. Much of my surprise. They made a new Spyro game called Spyro, the Hero's Tale. In this one, Nasty Nork is Nasty Nork. He's back. Except he ain't the main bad guy on this one. The main bad guy is Red. No, not these Reds. I mean, there's an evil dragon who goes by the name of Red, who's causing all this flim-flam. And then Nintendo DS decided to make a new Spyro game called, back in 2005, year I graduated, Spyro, Shadow of Legend. Legacy, I mean. Shadow of Legacy. And then all of a sudden they decided to do a brand new Spyro game where it's not even related to the Spyro game that we all knew and loved when PlayStation 1 came out. Now this one, it's from one of the trilogies they call the Legend of Spyro trilogy. And on this one, it made in 2006, and it was called Legend of Spyro, The New Beginning. On this one, they have Elijah Wood doing the voice of Spyro. They also have Gary Oldman doing the voice of some old wise dragon. And I thought I heard David Spade doing the voice of Sparks, the dragonfly. Now, unlike the Spyro the Dragon games I talked to you about, this one has a different origin. Turns out that the world is at war because there is this evil force who calls himself the Dark Master. And what he's doing is he's trying to create chaos throughout the world. And he's killing and it's also killing most of the dragons in the world. So there was one dragon egg, and that wise dragon put the egg on a floating nest and shift it into dang bugs. Shift it. I mean, put it on a lake and shift it all the way to the other side, where a group of fireflies showed up and decided to raise Spyro as their own, and of course becomes friends with Sparks, who are both like brothers to them. And it turns out that there's an evil dragon who goes by the name of Cinder. Anyway, throughout the whole game, as Spyro, you start to discover some of your origins, and you also discover that Cinder is actually a young baby dragon just like Spyro. She was just tempted by the darkness from the Dark Master. So at the end of the game, you save Cinder after defeating her, and now live happily ever after. For now. Until they made the sequel in 2007 called Legends of Spyro: The Eternal Night. In this one, there is this ape king who goes by the name of Gull. Turns out he was the one who kidnapped Cinder and pushed her into the darkness. And was about ready to destroy others, but that one wise dragon saved his life. So it's up to Spyro to stop this evil ape king with the help of Cinder. But the ape king grabs Cinder and trying to get her back into the dark side. But of course, Spyro, he himself embraced his dark side. But it's a symbol of love. It brought him back. So it was the help of Cinder and Sparks who got him back to his normal side, and they both frozen themselves into a huge yellow crystal. And then there is this app game made back in 2008 called Spyro the Dragon Rings of Fury. In it, you either play Spyro or Cinder, and it's just a shoot 'em up game. Until they finally created this video game, which was the final of the Legend of Spyro, called Legend of Spyro Dawn of the Dragon. In the game, it turns out that the Dark Master, the Dark Master is actually another evil dragon who goes by the name of Malfor. He was the one who started all this, and he himself is a purple dragon just like Spyro, but he was more embracing his dark side. Good, good. Let your anger rise in you. But the ending kind of confused me. Where are they? Where are they? Because in the game, Malfor, he almost destroyed the world. But Spyro, with the help of Sparks and Cinder, they helped each other put Earth back together. And they also met Hunter, but he's not the same Hunter like you know from the other games. And that was the end of the Legend of Spyro trilogy. Until this one is the one I was going to mention, that I did mention on my Sonic the Hedgehog game. But now Spyro is one of the main characters in the game. Skylanders. Made back in 2011. Even they made Skylander Giants in 2012. And as you can see here, here's Spyro and the group of his other characters that you're going to play in the game. And I always know, anytime if any gamer wants to buy a Skylanders game, they always come with a Spyro figurine along with 2 other characters in the game. And you know, I'm not interested in playing the Skylander game, but I do like to have the figurines though. I like to have Spyro and Crash Bandicoot, since they had Crash Bandicoot appeared on Skylander. And of course, you can play the game as both Spyro and Crash in the Skylander game. I just like to have the figurine as my collection. And then people think that was the end of Spyro and his legacy. But not for long. Because if you remembered on my Crash Bandicoot review, I did say that they remade and remastered the Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy. Well, they made in 2018 Spyro Regenerate Trilogy. Remake remastered trilogy of Spyro, where you can play all 3 of the games, all remade and remastered as Spyro. Now, I heard a lot of reviews about it. They say that some of the controls is a little clunky and also kind of glitchy, but it's still entertaining if you want to live your nostalgia playing Spyro the Dragon. And believe it or not, as I mentioned, there was also a Crash Team Racing called Nero Fueled in this game. If you have this game, you can unlock Spyro and his dragon vehicle. And that is my review of Spyro for today. So for those of you who likes my Spyro the Dragon review, please leave a comment down below, hit like and subscribe for more reviews. Oh, and one more thing I also noticed, they had that one actor doing the voice of Spyro, but when they did the remade and remastered version of Spyro the Dragon, guess who does the voice? Now, his name escapes me, but it's the same actor who played SpongeBob. Yeah, that's right. The same actor who does SpongeBob. Bye! And I vow never to do another SpongeBob impression ever again. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed my Spyro the Dragon review, and stay tuned, folks. I'm going to be doing some more reviews and even a couple of Christmas specials, so see you later. Oh yeah, I'm the multi-voice reviewer. I have many voices but one opinion. And believe, and that's all, folks!